heck?
Great. Now this was something I did not expect.
I wonder if we should be glad, since they've saved us the trouble of having to contact them.
We have found a suspicious armed group.
Put your hands in the air, all of you.
What is this world coming to? A woman and 2 kids are the Sky Bandits? Though the girl does look shifty.
Hey now, that's just rude. And who are you calling Sky Bandits? Can't you see this shiny emblem on my chest?
The bracer emblem, huh? I hope you don't think for a moment something like that proves your innocence.
General Morgan?
Why are you here?
After looking over the reports of my men, I found this place to have been insufficiently investigated, so I came to see for myself. Who would have thought the lot of you were conspiring with the Sky Bandits?
Might I get you to stop with the accusations, General? We happened to find this place one step ahead of your men.
If that's the truth, then why don't you tell me where the Sky Bandits are? Are the hostages inside that airliner?
We almost had the Sky Bandits, but they managed to escape. And there are no hostages to be found here.
It looks like the truth has come out. Most likely, you notified the Sky Bandits to let them know we were coming.
Wait a minute here. How about you cut with the crap?
My thoughts exactly. All right, men, take them into custody.
The general will be questioning you himself on the morrow. If your innocence is proven, then you'll be released in 2 or 3 days.
So for the time being, the cell will give you a place to cool your heels.
This is not even funny. Tossing us in a place like this without even listening to a word we have to say?
If the army managed to arrest the Sky Bandits, then I'm sure we'd have our names cleared. But with the way things are at the moment, that may not be possible.
Huh? Why not?
You remember what the Sky Bandit leader we fought in the old mine said, right? He said, "This can't be right. You're not supposed to be here this early," if I remember correctly.
Now that you mention it, he did say that, didn't he? You're not trying to tell me that he meant the army by that, are you?
I don't know for sure, but I would bet that's what he meant. Which means that...
The Sky Bandits have a mole in the army. Or a collaborator who is leaking information. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it, Joshua?
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, they'll never get caught. Which means we were the only ones that stood a chance of nabbing them.
But now we're stuck in here. I wonder how your father would get around this little setback.
My. Well, don't you all seem to be in a bit of a fix?
Huh? Did you just say something, Joshua?
No, I didn't say anything.
It came from the cell next door. It almost sounds familiar.
Oh, how could you say something so heartless? My lustrous voice should be recognizable to anyone.
Could this unfounded self-confidence
And tone of absurd narcissism belong to...
It's you, isn't it, Olivier?
You do remember my dulcet chords. To think that we'd meet again in a place like this. It seems that we are bound by destiny.
Why are you here? I thought we took you to Bose.
And now you're locked up in a place like this. What the heck did you do?
Come now, let's not worry about all the little details, shall we? I have my reasons, which are deeper than the deepest ocean and higher than the highest peak.
I'm definitely not asking now. I'm sure we'd just get tired while you talked our ears off.
What a coincidence, Estelle. I was just thinking the same thing.
So there you have it. We don't really care to know. You talk so much that I'd probably be an old woman by the time you were done. And I'm not ready for wrinkles yet.
Come on now, let's not be like that. I'll fill you in on all the details of the tragic incident which befell me.
Didn't you listen, dummy? We don't want to hear about it.
It all began when we parted ways. I did some window shopping in the Bose Market and then moved on to the Anterose restaurant. You see, once I had eaten to my heart's content, I began to play the grand piano to then feed my artistic soul. And upon doing so, the restaurant manager was overcome by my skill, so I was asked to stay and work as the professional pianist for the restaurant.
That's great and all, but I thought you were supposed to be a lutist.
Ha! A musical genius is not limited to just one instrument. Anyway, back to my story. After negotiating a few of my own conditions, I accepted the job offer. Those conditions were, of course, food and wine for free every day instead of Mira.
I don't know how to put it, but that's very you, Olivier. Yet I'm not sure how that has anything to do with you getting thrown in jail.
Oh, well, this is where the real sob story begins. That night, I had been enjoying a plate of sautéed duck I'd had the chef prepare. But the blood sauce which had been used was a little too overbearing for my palate. Consequently, I began to feel that normal red wine was not satisfying enough.
The more you talk, the more I want to hit you. But go on. I'm curious in spite of knowing better.
Well, so I borrowed a bottle of wine which seemed good from the cellar. Something called Grand Chardonnay from the year 1183.
Grand Chardonnay? From the year 1183? That's the legendary vintage wine that was auctioned off in the Royal City!
Oh, aren't you well informed? I heard a rumor about it too, so of course I was interested in having a drink for myself.
Auctioned off? How much are we talking about here?
From what I heard, it went for somewhere in the neighborhood of 500,000 mira.
Mira? For just one bottle?
That's out of this world. And you didn't, did you, Olivier?
Ha! Such a needless question. Of course I opened the bottle and had a sip. Its sweet-smelling fragrance tickled my nostrils. Its luxurious, mellow taste caressed my throat. And can you believe what else? A rose-tinted vignette of time and space existed within that very bottle.
I don't think I can listen to this any longer.
Yeah, my ears are bleeding from listening to such stupidity.
I'm completely dumbfounded.
The sad thing is that after taking a sip of such excellent wine, I began to feel the food was lacking. And as I was having the chef cook me up something else to match the wine, the restaurant manager returned. Since I am not a stingy fellow, I cordially invited him to join me for a drink. But for some odd reason, he got rather upset. In fact, he got so steaming mad that his face looked like a ripe tomato. And before I could say another word, a group of soldiers came filing in. And, well, one thing led to another and... I can't say another word about this tragedy of being dragged all the way here without coming to tears. So, let us all weep together as you sympathize with my dilemma.
Idiot.
Pardon? But do my ears deceive me? I could have sworn I heard a... and... Are you listening? This is where the story gets really interesting. You see, several further trials awaited me after I was brought here. Hello? Are you listening?
Hey, you three, get up.
I'm tired.
What's wrong?
What? Are you trying to tell us we're being interrogated this early in the morning? That's a little early even for me.
No, it's just the opposite. You're being released.
Huh? Why all of a sudden?
Is there a reason for this?
Yes, I like to consider myself that reason.
Mayor Mabel?
Well, what an unusual place to be meeting you.
I'm really sorry about everything that's happened to you. But don't worry, your names have been cleared.
I don't completely agree with everything, but this is a request coming from Mabel herself. You'd better remember to thank her.
So, you mean... Mayor Maybell stood up on our behalf?
No, that's not exactly it. I just explained your situation to General Morgan.
Our situation?
Yes, I have one question for the both of you. Are you really the children of Cassius Bright?
Yes, that's right. This is Estelle Bright, and I'm his adopted son, Joshua.
I see. Now that you mention it, the girl does slightly resemble Lena.
You knew my mother?
Yes, I enjoyed your mother's cooking on several occasions when I visited your home in Roland. Why, in fact, we even met once when you were just a baby.
Now, wait just a minute. You're a personal acquaintance of my dad's? I knew he was in the military before, but...
I don't know Cassius Bright the Bracer. The only Cassius I know is the one from the service. He was a rare strategist.
Strategist? Dad?
I just can't imagine what he saw in the Bracer Guild. It makes me angry just thinking about it. You'll have to excuse me.
What's wrong with him?
It seems like your father was a brilliant officer in the military. I've heard from the general that he tried several times to get your father to change his mind about retiring.
I didn't know that. Somehow it feels hard to believe.
However, if that's the case, the general's hatred for bracers may stem from Cassius leaving the army, from the vexation of being left by one of his most promising men.
I get the same impression.
So what you're saying is, our lives are such a pain because of Dad? That dirty, rotten scoundrel!
How about we return to Bose now? With the airliner being found, the situation has taken a new turn. So there are a number of things I'd like to discuss with you.
Oh, sure.
Is something the matter?
I'm definitely ready to get out of here, but it feels like we're forgetting something.
Now that you mention it...
What could it be?
Oh, how callous people can be at times. How could you forget about a companion who spent the night with you in a cold, hard cell? How lamentable. How pitiful. Fine, be that way. I shall wither away, friendless and hungry, alone in this dark purgatory.
Is he still here?
Yeah, I completely forgot about him.
I'm sorry to say this, but there's not much we can do for you.
Is he the musician I heard about? The one who chugged that bottle of Grand Chardonnay without a second thought?
Indeed, that is I. Yet, my fair lass, I would be heartbroken if you took my intentions the wrong way. For you see, I perceived it as an advanced payment for the exquisite services that I was about to render.
You're quite the interesting character. All right, I'll see what I can do to bargain with the general for your release.
Really? Truly? You would do such a kind service for a man such as myself?
I think that might be asking a bit much.
If the restaurant takes this to trial, there's going to at least be a lawsuit.
Well, there's no need to worry about that. You see, the owner of the restaurant is me.
Huh?
And that Grand Chardonnay was the very one I bid on. That being the case, I'm fairly confident there won't be any other problems over the matter.
I can't believe you were released.
It's like a stroke of bad luck.
Please, don't lay on the compliment so thick. However, it pains my soul that I partook of such a fine wine without paying a single mira. Shall I play the piano in the restaurant per our contract to remedy that?
I think I'm going to have to pass on that. After what happened, I think it would be a bit awkward having you back there.
I, for one, don't believe he'd mind a bit.
Yeah, he sure does seem to have some thick skin.
Let's just think of this as an unfortunate incident for the both of us.
But I don't think I can just let things go like this. Let's see. It seems like you're investigating something at the moment, right? How about I lend my assistance in return for the wine?
Uh-huh.
Well, that does sound interesting. Could I ask you to join these bracers in their work?
Could you ever? So it's settled. Let our new working relationship bloom like a magnolia at the height of spring.
Hold on a sec. What did we do to deserve this?
Your general weirdness aside, simply having an amateur like you around is honestly going to be a pain. Are you confident that you won't be a drag on our work or our sanity?
Well, I'm somewhat confident in my marksmanship and magic. But of course, I'd be distressed if you tried to list my music genius in the same group.
That's the kind of line that gets me really worried.
But maybe we could use an extra hand. As long as we can't count on the army to help us out, I have the feeling that we'll be short on manpower.
Well, alright then. We'll use you for what you're worth. However, if we do happen to conclude that you're not worth your weight, you're dumped from the party. Are you going to be okay with that?
Of course I don't mind. I'd never let you down, so please be reassured.
Well, my expectations of you are pretty much at rock bottom anyways, so I know you won't let me down.
I'm glad things are settled between you all. Truth be told...
Tell us?
Actually, the town did seem pretty noisy as we were headed here. What happened?
Truth be told... Last night, there was a large-scale burglary in Bose's South Block. The weapon shop and Orbital factory were targeted, as were a number of private residences.
What?
So, was this the work of the Sky Bandits?
It's unknown at this time, but it seems highly probable. A unit of the Royal Army is currently conducting an investigation.
I see. I guess we better do an investigation of our own then.
Yes, I'd like to formally request that you do just that. I'll send a payment over to the guild for the work you've done so far. Please make use of the money for your current investigation expenses.
I have a feeling that the army is going to get in our way again, but I guess when that happens, it happens.
Whether they get in our way or not. I don't think we should be forthcoming with the army about any information we come, because if there's really a spy in their midst, they'll just leak it to the Sky Bandits.
Though I'm reluctant to say it, I also think it's best to keep quiet about our findings. Anyway, let's act with prudence.
Alrighty, my bosom companions. Shall we head to the South Block?
Look, buddy, who made you king of the show?
Yay! This one turned out really cute. Niall, is this how you wanted this one?
Yeah, sure. Something like that. However, we really got screwed, you know that?
Good afternoon. Are you working on another story?
Looks like you two are on the trail of a scoop again.
Hey, it's you kids.
Oh, Estelle and Joshua. Boy, am I glad to see that they let you out of the clinker.
Yeah, I heard all about you kids getting arrested by the army up at the old mine. You certainly had me worried.
Why are you acting like you had nothing to do with it? It was your info that led us to the village.
Hey now, what kind of face is that? Don't tell me you blame us.
Did you go and check out the abandoned mine yourselves?
Yeah, we did yesterday, but it was after you had already been hauled off.
We could have had a really great shot of your arrest had we been there. It really guts me that we missed such a perfect opportunity for a great shot.
I swear, you people in the news business.
But anyway, I was wondering if you thought this looked like the handiwork of the Sky Bandits.
Sure looks that way to me. Seemed that the army's sniffing around for clues too. But to be honest, it looks like there's nothing to be found here anymore.
I see. That does make things a bit more difficult.
Well, Mr. Reporter, why don't you let me ask you this then? Do you know from whence the Sky Bandits entered town?
According to witness statements, they were seen leaving through the west gate.
Well, that's awfully strange. The mayor's residence and Bo's market are right through the west gate. And it seems like attacking those two places would be far more lucrative.
When you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense. But if you don't mind me asking, who the heck are you anyway?
I'm glad you asked. I'm Olivier Lenheim, a wandering bard and gifted musician. I'm sure you've heard rumors about me, right?
Oh, right! You're the guy who drank wine without paying at the classy restaurant. It takes guts to stiff such a big bill. It's an honor to meet you, sir.
You're making me blush. I'm ready for my interview at any time, so please don't hesitate to ask.
Wow! Really?
I am getting a headache just listening to this crap.
These two are very much alike.
I'm not even gonna ask how this guy wound up with the rest of you.
That would be for the best.
Hey, you there!
What? Is something wrong?
I thought I'd better give you a word of advice. Even if you are representing the mayor, at the end of the day, you are all still civilians. We cannot have you wandering around here in the middle of our investigation.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Your advice seems rather more like a threat.
I'm just saying you need to know your place. But if you're so adamant about investigating the matter, then do it after we've cleared out of here. If we get any more trouble out of you, then I'm going to give you a personal invitation to jail.
Forget about it, Estelle. There's no use arguing with these gentlemen.
For an ass in 9 skin, you sure know how to throw your weight around, Mrs. Soldier.
What did you just say?
May I ask what's going on here?
Colonel!
For a soldier in the prestigious Royal Army to be threatening our good citizens? That is an outright embarrassment to us all!
But these are just civilians, sir! They're members of the Bracer Guild!
Oh, is that so? Then I ask you once again, what is going on here? The army is supposed to be working closely with the guild. What do you intend to accomplish by being rude to our allies?
But as far as the general is concerned...
Ah, yes. That side of the general really concerns me. I'll take over the investigation from here, so please take your men and clear out.
But sir!
Your men have been here since early this morning, so I presume that a sufficient investigation has been conducted by now, yes? I'll smooth things over with the general later. Is there anything else you wish me to address?
No, sir. All right, men, pack it up. We're returning to the Hawken Gate.
It looks like that's that. It seems that some of our personnel were rather impolite. Please, allow me to apologize.
I appreciate the gesture, but we made some slightly inflammatory remarks as well, so how about we let bygones be bygones?
That suits me just fine. As I stated before, the army is supposed to be working closely with the guild. I think our two organizations working together grants us each the ability to make up for the other's shortcomings. I'm looking forward to any progress you make with this recent series of events.
Thank you. We'll do what we can.
He seems like a decent guy.
Yeah, I wonder who he is.
Colonel, it's almost the appointed time.
Oh, alright. Excuse me, but it appears I must take my leave. Oh, but before I do, it looks like I haven't properly introduced myself. I am Alan Richard, a colonel in the Royal Army. If there's anything I can do to assist you, please don't hesitate to contact me.
Colonel Richard? I feel like I've heard that name somewhere before.
Niall was the one who mentioned his name earlier. He said something about him being a sharp young officer who leads the Royal Army's intelligence division.
Oh, right! Wow, for someone in the military, he sure knows how to listen to others.
Probably in his mid-30s, and he's not hard on the eyes either. He seems like he's more fit to be a politician than a service member in the army.
Hey, you guys! Who was that you were just talking to in the black uniform? I could swear I've seen him somewhere before.
Are you trying to tell me that you didn't recognize him at all? That was Colonel Richard of the Intelligence Division. You know, the guy you mentioned earlier.
What? You're not pulling my leg, are you?
As fun as that would be, nope,
He said so himself, so I'm fairly confident he is who he says he is.
To think that the legend himself would show up here. We can't wait around like this any longer, Dorothy. Let's see if we can catch up to him.
Aye, aye, sir. Although I'm not really sure why we're chasing after anyone.
Did you see his eyes light up? I wonder if he's going to do an interview or something.
Anyone else in the army would brush him off, but I'm sure the colonel will oblige him.
What's the matter with you, Olivier? You look serious. And I gotta say, I find it creepy coming from you.
I was just thinking about the Colonel. I'll be the first to admit that he's quite the specimen of a man. But
what?
I can say with confidence that he doesn't stand a chance against me when it comes to the ladies. But I'd like to see him try just a little harder. It's no fun without a romantic rival.
You just had to ask, didn't you, Joshua?
I'll regret it for the rest of my life.
Alright, let's see here. Now that the soldiers are gone, how about we resume our own investigation? Let's start by talking to all the people we couldn't talk to earlier.
Good idea.